Chicago. Fuck.
What part of Chicago you from?
Peace. What's going on, people? It's the guy Rashad Nasir. Once again, motherfucking What Up Joe podcast.
Don't act like you don't introduce me every episode. It's your favorite permanent co-host, Bianca.
Nice. Welcome.
Thank you.
And you are now listening to the What Up Joe podcast. We got a very special guest.
Yes.
Definitely a household name. I mean, it really don't get more Chicago than this. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
We got the homie.
Kind of high profile. I feel like I'm, next to a celebrity.
Yeah.
I'm cooling.
I came with the beat.
None of that.
I had to come correct. We got a celebrity in the house.
But we got the homie Doe from the Go.
Word.
My brother.
What's up with it, bro?
How you doing?
Well,
I'm blessed.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Definitely, man. We got a lot to get into, man. You're definitely somebody that's been a staple here for quite some time.
Word.
You definitely have paved a lot of ways, you know what I'm saying, and wear a lot of hats. So let's get into it. We'd like to start off. Where you from?
Southside Chicago.
Southside.
Yeah, I grew up in a Roseland area.
Okay.
So between Roseland and like Brandon Park, so like 108th and Wentworth, and between there and 93rd and Racine.
Okay, gotcha. That's right. Word, definitely. All right, so tell me how you started in this game, because you're definitely somebody I would call a gatekeeper in the Chicago hip hop world.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So we can even start off with like Stack or Starve, if that's where it begins for you.
Well, no, even before that, I started off basically, just trying to find my way with the music shit. I had my sister, she had a boyfriend at the time, and he used to come over to the house, and he saw me like, I used to always like playing my mother records and have my little headphones on and just be thinking I'm a DJ or some shit. I'm standing over the, turntable, just fucking around. And I can curse, right?
Oh yeah, you are.
Sure I can talk some shit.
No, you definitely talk good shit, man. Chicago.
I just want to make sure I can talk some shit. All right, so he saw me and he was like, you rap or something? I'm like, no, I'm just, I just like music. So he started taking me with him to the studio and giving me that studio experience. Showing me, because back then, we dealing with the analog world, ADAT machines, DATs, reel to reel. That's like when the tape cut. So it's not no stopping. Like, you got to cut the tape right when the vocal over. Yep. I learned a lot back then. And from there, I kind of like just started training myself to learn how to produce music and engineer music at a young age. And, that's when I started like dabbling with Cakewalk and, earlier programs from back in the day, before the Pro Tools and all of that.
Now, what side of the game was, the guy who kind of introduced you to it?
He was a rap artist.
He was an artist.
Yeah,
okay,
he
so
did some.
He
did some weird rap shit. He was on some like acid rap type shit. He was he did like he was like a black. He reminded me kind of Jimi Hendrix, but he was a rapper. You know what I mean? He had this grunge look to him. He kind of introduced me to the whole grunge wave. You know what I mean? I found them interesting. You know what I mean? Shout out to that man.
What's his name?
He called himself Mike. Damn, it was MIC something, man. I forgot what he called himself, but it was Mike something. Mike Angel. That was his name. Okay. Mike Angel. And, he had like a black rock, rap, grunge type thing going on. And I found it interesting. You know what I mean? He'd come scoop me like late at night. My mother used to let me go to the studio with him. He'd come. He had a tracker then, like a Chevy tracker. And I used to hit his motherfucker just driving up from. I'd be waiting on him, you know what I'm saying? Like a little kid waiting on his daddy. You know what I'm saying? And he used to come and grab me and take me to the studio session, just kind of like give me that experience, you know what I mean, for studios, and just train me to know what it is. Because he used to go to like Big Boy Labs, with the track board, and he was in there. And then from there, I kind of like started training myself to like learn how to make beats. Okay. And that's when I started out like on the SP1200, and I learned how to cut samples and chop. And then from there, I started getting my own equipment. So my big brother, Decadurs, he's like my mentor. He had a lot of equipment over his crib. So I used to go over his house because he used to have a lot of ciphers, and he used to have a lot of guys from the block, rapping. We had a mic hanging down with the sock on it.
That's it.
So I used to always just stay, implanted around, guys who were doing music, and I'm like 14, 15, 16 at the time. So I used to always just train myself on how the game would go if I was to enter it. Fast forward, I was working a 9 to 5, and I just quit my job one day. 'Cause I just felt like I was meant to be a part of the music game. I was a fan of it, and then I just started to just take risks and take sacrifices. You know what I mean? So once I did that, I invested, got a lot of equipment, built a studio in my home, and then started inviting a lot of guys over. And then from there, my buzz just started getting good in the city. Cause I would just invite, a lot of the who's, over my crib, and they would rap in my closet. Cause I had good beats, so those beats attracted a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Cause back then there wasn't a lot of producers. Everybody wasn't making beats.
We talking like early 90s.
Well, we talking about early 2000s.
Maybe like
2002.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Yeah. Cause even then, a lot of people didn't know I went out to Cali for about 6 months and was fucking with Suge and Death Row. Just on some intern type shit, just kind of being around them and kind of learning the game.
How the fuck was that experience?
It was cool actually. No, it was cool. See, niggas don't know, man. Like Free Suge, man. He was a good dude. He took care of everybody. He liked being a gangster. You know what I mean? But he fucked with his people. So if he was his people, he took care of you. And if you fucked with his people, he took care of them.
For sure.
So so fast forward with that, I just got tired of seeing a lot of the guys come around me who didn't have their business together. It was people that they didn't know how to copyright their music, or they didn't know how to get it to the masses, or how to fuck with a DJ. Or so I just started to take all that in and say, damn, I want to start my own brand. So that's where the Stack of Starve shit came in. What I mean? I was already influenced by like a lot of the mixtape brands. You had Gangsta Grills, you had Southern Smoke. You had a lot of different brands in the South, but Chicago didn't have a mixtape brand.
Not at all.
That was making moves in the streets and, putting on artists. So I started the Stack of Starve shit. And, it took off from there. You know what I'm saying? We built the brand. We started off doing DVDs early on. I dropped a mixtape, and it was lukewarm. But once we did our first DVD, and then I doubled back and went and started grabbing DJs like Victorious, and then started grabbing niggas like Twin, and then everybody else started coming into the fold. That's when we started breaking artists, and we started going to grab Louis and grab Keith and we was just grabbing Dirk and grabbing like artists and doing tapes with them. You know what I'm saying? Putting that stamp on the cover. And then that's when the buzz just started escalating through the whole city. You know what I mean? Every side, everybody. When you look up, everybody, man, I gotta get that logo on my front cover. I gotta get that stamp on my front cover. Like everybody's just running around wanting to get they heard the drop. Everybody want the drop on it. We had a run. You know what I mean? That whole between 2011 and 2014. When the drill was at its peak. We was killing shit. You know what I'm saying? We was really breaking artists, and everybody was Stack of Stars. You couldn't go nowhere, and you couldn't hear a mixtape riding by without hearing the drop. You know what I mean? And it started escalating, and I started building my DJ coalition side of the brand. Because at first we didn't have that many DJs. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, Hustlenomics, all type of people just started hitting me like, bro, I gotta join the brand. I gotta join the brand. Gotta join the brand. How can I get down with the brand? So I just started giving DJs careers and giving DJs platforms so they can become bigger DJs and they can be household names of their own. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we was rocking. You know what I mean? And I feel good because with that brand, we did a lot. You know what I mean, for the Chicago rap culture, and a lot of those artists went on to become someone or become bigger. So it's great to see those artists that we broke in the market do their thing.
Right. What brought about the inspiration just to be in a position and checking out the landscape and seeing okay, there's these talent out here, but essentially we don't have the industry. We didn't have it at one point. There wasn't the medium to really push these artists out there. What really inspired that? What really intrigued that thought?
Just kind of telling myself that our city needs more outlets and more platforms, and there's other people in the city that do things or are doing things. I just wanted to be one of those ones that had created a platform to stamp people. Yeah. And it ended up working.
Yeah. The first of the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it. You know what I'm saying? Who were some of the bigger artists now that came from out of that? if you can name a few. You already named a
Yeah,
couple already.
I think I would put all of them in that top bracket.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That handful of, you know what I'm saying, people. You know what I mean? Like, we had a lot of different people we broke. It's artists that even outside of Chicago, it was artists we was working with who ended up doing something, whether they became a big DJ or not. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just artists. It was these DJs right now who came from the brand, who got names out here and just, you know, doing their thing. You know, the Mile Highs, the Commando, DJ Shine. It's people who came from the brand who was a part of that legacy. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, and that was definitely a great era in music.
Yeah, absolutely.
That, you know what I'm saying? Definitely was a lot out of that.
So to be in a position where you have helped so many people and, you know, you have put so many people on and you have kind of like put everybody on the track to grow. How does it feel? Do you feel like you get the gratitude that you deserve? Do you kind of feel like you get the shine that you deserve in the city?
No, I don't really focus on it. I'm kind of like one of those guys. I'm behind the scenes a lot, and I like to see everybody shine. I get my wins regardless. Like, I get out here and hustle. So I don't try to take. It's people right now who I'm a part of, who I don't even take credit for. It's a lot of your favorite artists and DJs today, who I don't even speak on. But I'm definitely handling their business, handling their branding. Definitely. But I don't need to tell y'all, you know, who they are or what I'm doing behind them. But because I understand this. Everybody got to shine.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Respect. I can respect that, definitely.
And so, how'd you get with? You still with Def Jam?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, definitely. As a lifestyle rep?
Yeah, lifestyle rep. I handle lifestyle stuff, street team, mixed show shit. You know, anything that deals with the street aspect. You know, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah,
definitely. I wasn't even really aware that like the street team thing was even still kind of present.
Yeah. Well, when you say street team, it's kind of like how you look at it. Street team meaning, you know, the label has reps from a street standpoint. So, you know, they have a guy in VA, they'll have a guy in Houston, they'll have a guy in Philly, they'll have two guys in LA, two guys in Miami, you know, a guy in New York, you know what I mean? And we handle it. We're the face from a street standpoint, meaning, you know, we rep the brand in that sense. You know, we hit the clubs, we break the records. You know, we double back and make extra phone calls to see if this is playing or if that's not playing, or we go get videos of certain records getting playing, and we send it back to the building and let the building know what's rocking. And, you know, there's duties that come with that rep position. You know, a lot of it sometimes is a lot of pressure, and a lot of times the shit's easy. You know what I mean? It just depends on a certain night. Sometimes they put us under a lot of pressure. It's been last minute shit where, you know, they tested us. Like, you know, let's see how they can make this happen in a short amount of time. You know what I mean? So there's wins that come with it, and then the losses, you know, we never focus on.
Was there ever like a criteria for like the high artist that you're looking for? Is it just straight from the buzz from the people?
I like all artists, really.
Okay.
You know, whether they big or small. I kind of look at when I can meet an artist and just I'll give him the same respect I give a big star if I see it in him. If I feel like he's a star, he'll get treated that way even when the world don't know about him.
Now, when you say see it in him, what is it? Because
it's the it factor.
Okay.
You know, everybody don't have it.
Is it talent versus marketability, or is it, you know, like what exactly is it, or can you even kind of pinpoint
it's
it?
kind of like a glow. Like everybody doesn't have that thing, that spark. You know what I'm saying? Like a person could walk in a room and you can just tell something about them.
Yeah,
They gonna
that
be
energy.
yeah.
That's just what it is. I mean, that's not taking away from the talented. But, you know, when you're fully packaged that way, you know, you're you're the chosen one. You're special in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Word.
I feel that.
All right, definitely. So essentially, you're the medium in between the artist being hot on the streets and potentially signing to a label.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know.
So in 2018, in your opinion, why should an artist sign to a major or a label in general?
I wouldn't even discuss why. If an artist is presented a deal, it's just all about how the deal is negotiated. You know, a lot of labels, they don't have the information anymore because the old school way of thinking record label is out. You know, there's new ways and new strategies to push an artist, and sometimes you have to test how to push an artist. So you know, it's like a doctor practicing medicine. You know, labels are skilled and may have the resources. But sometimes they got to try shit too. Sometimes they have to try to see if this may work for a certain artist, because they may get an artist on the roster and really don't know what to do with him. They know he's a star or they know she's a star, but, you know, they still have to, you know, try things to see if it even works, or just try to see if something could come from the situation.
Right.
You know, what I suggest for labels, what I suggest for every artist is just to really start your own corporation or your company. Sign yourself as an artist to it, and then, you know, negotiate a 50-50 deal. Once you built your brand, I mean, that way you have leverage. You can walk away with your masters and, you know, do your thing. You know, otherwise, you know, you just sign a slave deal, and then those things get frustrated, you know what I mean, because you don't have really a say-so or any type of leverage and how your shit's going to move.
Right.
And
the slave deal essentially a 360.
Yeah, in that sense, I mean, obviously everything will be taken, you know, off the top from every type of monetary stream you have, which would be merchandise, shows, your mechanicals, your publishing, you know, things like that. So, you know, if you don't want your deal to go that way, you know, build your brand, turn the fuck up, and then, you know, go get the real money.
Right. Is there ever a case where you think it's beneficial for an artist to sign a deal on that level where the artists have their hands in every single thing?
Not for every artist. Certain artists, I think it'll be beneficial. You know, one thing I can say about certain labels is they have access to certain things that an artist can't have access to. You know what I mean? But, you know, nowadays, depending on how, you know, your networking game is, you can have access to those same things. It's just all about how you move in the streets and who you know. You know, if you don't know nobody in this game, you're not going to get anywhere. You know, you got to know the right people. And you got to know... you got to have the right resources.
Now, speaking to, you know, kind of not what you know, but who you know. And, you know, would it be in 2018, like you just said, you know, kind of the old school way of doing things is kind of, you know, null and void. What exactly is the criteria to get a young artist signed? You know, speaking, you know, just with social media, do you have to have a certain amount of followers? You got to have a certain amount of
that's
buzz,
all cliche bullshit.
You know?
It's all about the
So
interest.
tell us what it is.
Yeah, it's the interest in the artist. It's what the artist brings to the game. It's all about having your own wave. Not being a carbon copy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's those are the barriers you have to break when you're coming through the gate. You have to have something different about yourself. Being innovative is like the number one thing, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you rather have a legacy than have a short term, you know, in this game. And I tell artists this all the time, you know, just be patient, you know what I'm saying? Come up with your own shit, your own wave, and just be the man, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're wasting your fucking time because, you know, there's so many goddamn artists. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's an artist. Everybody running around rapping and shit. And it's just, you know, it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's like everybody can't play in the league either. You know what I mean? I mean, you got levels to this shit. You know what I mean? That's why the NBA niggas is who they are. You know what I mean? Because, you know, they perform at a certain level. You know what I mean? So if you're not ready to perform at a certain level and understand what comes with that level, then you're probably, you know, need to keep shooting in the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So, word.
Do you think labels should have a social responsibility to the culture? Just in the sense of, like, because you've seen this, you know what I'm saying, to be somewhat that's thorough in your hip hop. And so we can clearly see, like, a difference with the music from the late 80s, early 2000s, and just like just how real it was, how authentic that most artists came about, and now, especially from, you know, starting from the period of, like, the ringtone era,
Right.
it's mostly just like singles, where from that standpoint music becomes disposable, in my opinion. It's in and out. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on that particular?
Well, with the labels, starting off with the labels, you know, I think their job is just to remain, you know, relevant at the end of the day. I mean, because not shitting on the labels, but, you know,
it's a business.
It's a business, and it's a disguise for, like, bank. You know what I'm saying? Really. You know, when you get inside and you learn the infrastructure of how a label runs, then it gives you the knowledge on how to run your own label. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like right now, I was just talking to my assistant Peaches about, you know, what it takes to have a successful label. You know what I mean? All it really takes is some manpower and some financing. And, you know, you can be successful. You know what I mean? Suge showed us that with Death Row. All it takes is just, you know, believing in, you know, what you're about to do or what you're set out to do, you know, to build a legacy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like every real businessman or real businesswoman can do the same thing if they have the right tools.
Okay, I could dig that. Why do you think Chicago has never had the type of industry that New York and LA has had in pertaining to hip hop?
Well, it's like I was just telling somebody else too. I don't like to even put those thoughts in my head.
Okay.
I say that because we need to come up out of the realm of always saying that. Well, why Chicago ain't on, or why we ain't got an industry, or why we ain't collab. I just say just do it. Don't think about that shit. Don't even talk about why we ain't collabing and why we ain't. Just do that shit. If it ain't that way, then do it. If we ain't got a label, put it here. If you ain't doing this, do it.
Yeah.
If you ain't collabing, collab more. If you ain't we ain't gonna block that shit out your head and just get to it. And which I've been seeing more. I'm kind of glad of the wave of this year. This year has been like I saw a lot come out of the city this year. That's why I came back. Like I've been around for a while because I could be anywhere. I could be in LA, New York, and do all the same dick riding that these other niggas do. But I'm right here in my market, and I'm right here amongst my people, you know, who respect me, and you know I can still move and shake and go anywhere in the city and do whatever I want to do because I'm contributing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm making sure that these artists are doing what they have to do to catapult.
Gotcha.
It's so refreshing to hear you say that because me and Rashad had this conversation all the time about, you know, the narrative being about Chicago, that we don't work together, Chicago full of haters and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and it's not like that no more.
Yeah, I don't
it's
even
not
like
that no more. It's like that's not the reality.
They want you to plant it in your head.
It's not the reality.
Like,
not at all.
That's why I don't even speak on it. I just be like, I laugh.
So
when I hear
refreshing.
people say that. Yeah,
it's refreshing to hear, definitely. And I'm glad you hit a cosign because you know.
Yeah, that shit. I don't even like to discuss that shit. We doing what we got to do. There's more platforms coming. This is why I'm here, supporting. You know, supporting. You know, making sure that I keep putting people aware of the new waves that's entering the city, and you know, all of this matters. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely feel that. All right, so tell me more about this mineral water that you got, man.
Mineral Water, the album I've been working on for the last 3 or 4 years. Probably gonna be one of the biggest projects to come out of our city. I took a lot of artists from the city and surrounding areas, from producers to DJs, musicians. You know, I just wanted to make it a Chicago thing first and foremost. That was important to me, that I get a lot of talent from the city. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna unite a lot of people. You know, I've introduced a lot of these collaborations on this album. A lot of artists didn't even know about certain people, and then you know I put them together in the studio, and then they making magic. You know what I'm saying? That's my job. You know what I mean? My job is to bring talent together from our city to create some magic, so that we can show these people, you know, that we are unified. So this project is special. I'm right now I got like 200 records. I think I'm gonna break this down into like a lot of different projects under the Mineral Water brand, but what's gonna matter is that first one, and that's kind of like it's got to set the tone. So that's why I've been kind of like perfecting it, just making sure. I've scrapped the album 7 times. You know what I mean? Just because, you know, I'm hard on just making sure the quality is there, making sure that I got my right. You know what I mean? Like I think about the 90s and I think about the music, you know, from Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See and all that. I feel like if I don't have records that give you that type of energy, then we got to go back to the drawing board.
Had that type of longevity.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've been working on it for a while. Right now I'm in the process of just about to shoot a lot of visuals and stockpile those. I got some really dope records now. I got some really great singles. So I'm definitely looking to roll it out finally in the new year. You know, a lot of people been like, bro, you be bullshitting. This shit like Detox and shit like this shit like the Carter. They like this like the Carter, bro. I'm like, no, we're gonna roll this shit out. We're gonna roll it out. Mineral Water coming soon.
Word, most definitely.
Yeah, you can check out the trailers. I dropped like 23 trailers, you know, showing the making of the album on YouTube. So you can go and check out the Mineral Water trailers. I also got a website where you can kind of get caught up on the whole process of the making the album in the last 2-3 years. mineralwaterh20.com. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like for people who slept, they can go get woke.
Okay, I can definitely feel that.
Word.
Are there any artists that you feel like you may have missed in a period of time?
To working with?
Yeah,
of course. There's many artists. How I look at stuff from God's timing. It's like even now, a lot of the artists that I just started working with, you know, I've probably been the one to work with them years ago, but we just got something in. It's all about God's timing. That's why I never press nothing. Like I know that when it's time to happen, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because you know we all got man shit going on. You know, whether you got kids, whether you got a bunch of responsibilities, you got pressure, you got this, that. So you know, only a selfish man is gonna think about itself. You know, I think about everybody when it comes to this equation. So you know, I just pray on it, and it all folds when it's supposed to happen.
Word.
Word.
Definitely. Do you feel like music should have some kind of like social responsibility?
Yeah. It's like the scale.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like you gotta have some ratchet shit, and then you gotta have some shit that you gotta still remember too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you know that's the beauty of the music industry. You know the fact that we have, you know, artists like Kendrick and, you know, artists like fucking Dex or something. You know what I mean? Like that, it's a range. You know, but we have to respect artists for who they are, and we can't make an artist. Certain artists are just born to turn the fuck up. You know what I mean? And then there's certain artists who have a purpose. You know what I mean? To instill that real rap into you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Who you bumping right now? What's on your radar?
Like independent or major? Or,
Doesn't matter.
from the crib, man, I'm fucking with everybody music. Okay. Like, if you from Chicago and I hear the shit and I'm rocking with it, I'm playing it. Like, you in my playlist. You know what I mean? So shout out to all the Chicago artists doing their thing. Industry wise, you know, I got my favorites. You know, Dave East. You know, like Meek Mill. The new Weezy project. You know, a lot of people got their mixed feelings about it. You know
we was just talking about.
We talked about it before you came.
Well, Bianca said it had a 17%.
I like 4 out of the 23 tracks. That's all. 4.
But it's
like
see
4
how I tell
tracks.
people is this. It's really how you listen to things. You know, if you're listening to it to compare it, then you're losing. If you're listening to it to expect different and to expect growth, you're winning. You know what I mean? And you have to use like Snoop. You can't make another fucking Doggy Style, but you can come close to it, and then you can make conceptual albums that just, you know, this nigga did a gospel album, a reggae album. This nigga did. But we can't. Every time he drop, we can't be like, oh, this nigga dropped the. We can't stab him. But when he gave us a doggy
comparing.
style,
right?
Yeah.
He gave us a doggy style.
Can't continue to
So
compare.
we can go back and listen to that if you want that.
And still
go
get
listen
that
to fucking
vibe
Doggy
for
Style.
sure.
That's the point that I'm making. So, you know, great album to me.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I totally feel that, man.
Yeah.
What's up? What you got?
No, I could agree. I'll just leave it
It's
at
the
that.
truth.
I could agree.
It's the truth. Like, a lot of people.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
What are you listening for? You listening for some shit he did before, or you trying to see what he's trying, or what is he, what angles are he testing to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes niggas gotta make, you know, Grammy type records and shit. Like, you gotta evolve.
Yeah.
You can't do another Millie and another.
That's for sure.
You know what I mean? It's just the truth. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
For me, I feel like the height of Wayne's music for me was Carter 3. You know, and what I didn't like about this particular album, I mean, a part of it felt like it was a little rushed. I feel like certain songs on the album were a little dated. The features carried it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, from Wayne, I do want to see a certain kind of growth. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be hit with bars all fucking day. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear certain things with a context. But it was cool. You know, it was a cool album.
Yeah. My opinion still stands. You know what I'm saying? 4 out of the 22.
So 19 is a straight dub. That's crazy.
I didn't say that. I prefer, you know, 4 of these tracks are my faves. I like those.
Think his mother should have cried at the end?
Yes. Definitely think it should have been at the end.
Very end?
Yeah, definitely.
Word.
Word.
And I'm not even including the outro. I mean, I don't want to talk about the intro nor the outro.
I was
Everything
questionable
else in
about
between.
the new narrative of him trying to kill himself.
Yeah. I mean, like I said again, man, he's a genius. You know, that's all I could put it. I could put it like that. You know, every one of your albums have to have, you know, you got to do different shit with every album. You know what I mean? Like, every album just got to be, you know, it's got to be different elements. You know what I mean? So I like the fact that he played with certain flows and played with certain types of production. And, you know, he gave me. I wasn't disappointed at all.
I did say that earlier. It sounds very 2018. You know, like
I
he
wasn't
trying
disappointed.
to play catch up or like just trying to match where these other artists are.
It was cool. I'm fucking with it. How you feel about Kanye right now, man?
I fuck with that's big bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it's home team. You know what I mean? So, you know, whatever he with, you know, I'm rocking with.
I feel that.
He's inspired a lot of my career. You know, I've seen him grow, you know what I mean, from, you know, the go-getter days. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, he's a public figure, and he's a major public figure from the crib. So, you know, he's going to be up, he's going to be down. He's gonna be allowed to go through shit, and be ridiculed and stomped on and stabbed. But then at the end of the day, still lovable guy, talented. And he's gonna do some shit big for the city. You know what I mean? And it's not about depending on him or putting that type of pressure on him either, because he's already contributed so much for the culture, man. So people not paying attention. He's given the culture so much, man.
I agree. Yeah,
he has literally saved the culture in many ways. So you can only ask for so much from one man. I mean, that's like saying, even with Hove, you don't see people from Marcy or whatever ridiculing him. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about just being solid and not forgetting where you came from. You know what I'm saying? You can do that, then you good.
Yeah, a little inspiration always goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it definitely puts the culture forward for the city. Most def. All right, cool. Trying to see what else you got going on, man.
A whole lot of projects. I manage like fucking 20 artists, so I'm developing acts. You know what I mean? I'm dealing with so many different labels right now. I'm trying to negotiate a label deal for a certain artist I don't want to speak on right now, but hopefully that works out for him in the first quarter. And just like executive producing projects too. I like to come in, sit in, and help people, get their shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So a lot of projects, really. I want to get more on the creative side. I'm definitely finna get back on the beats, but I'm gonna go under another name, so that way nobody's focusing on me under this name with the beats. It's gonna be some shit nobody even know I made it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That type of wave.
That's the cool thing about Chicago. There's definitely a lot of movers and shakers out here that really don't want no part of the light.
Yeah. And I don't need it, but it's kind of hard. Reason being is because I implant myself in the trenches. So, I'll go to the hood, I'll go to the clubs, I'll go to the corporate offices, I'll be everywhere, and it's kind of hard to not be seen and not be, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta just play that role and do what I do. You know what I mean?
Do you think it hurts Chicago by us not, in my opinion, not having like a club atmosphere that really supports the culture?
No, I think we got them. Yeah, I'm in a lot of clubs, bro.
Okay.
I go to a lot of parties, bro. Like, I'm in all the parties. And the thing about Chicago is we have different types of parties.
For sure.
We got parties with, the bougie motherfuckers. We got the hood shit. We got the hipster shit. We got the blended crowd shit. You know what I mean? I go to everything. You know what I mean? I go everywhere and be around every DJ, and I need to be implanted to know what's going on, just so I can have that type of knowledge. I think I want to do something soon where I take the cameras into these clubs and show the world how Chicago
what's
coming,
really happening.
because it's not being
That'll
put
be
out
dope.
here.
Sure.
It's not being put out here. Maybe that's something myself and Halstd can do.
For
you know
sure.
what I'm saying?
Definitely shout out to Halstd.
Yeah, I got big shit going on with Halstd. You know what I mean? I got some dope shit. We about to land. I'm about to do a major situation where we do some rap battle shit. I'm gonna executive produce that for the city. I'm also going to executive produce another segment where we highlight DJs and producers. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do it.
Yeah, definitely. DJs and producers definitely need a lot more light out here.
Yeah. I'm gonna be executive producing both of those with Halstd. So be looking for that.
That's ill. That's gonna be ill, man. That's my people. I fucks with Halstd.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, man. You got a clothing line too.
Yeah, bag language clothing. You know what I'm saying? New brand. We did well on our first pop up. We did it a year ago. It was very successful. I just had to test the market. I had a lot of support come out. We did a collaboration with Iridium. Shout out Iridium.
Okay.
So I plan to open my store in a year or two. You know what I mean? I want to do something big. It's high end merch. Shopbaglanguage.com. Y'all can check that out. We're dealing with apparel, but soon we're gonna do bags, from book bags to handbags. We're gonna do a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying?
You need some models.
Yeah, we need models. We need
all for
more videographers. We need more
I love a
graphic
good
artists.
handbag.
Yeah, let's do it.
I do. I love a good
Yeah,
handbag.
we're gonna get you together.
right.
Let's rock.
Definitely. We'll make that happen, man. Most definitely. Any thoughts or particular messages that you got for a young, inspiring artist from Chicago
Yeah.
just trying to get it?
Yeah, just stay focused and have faith. No fear. If you fear anything, then you're just putting worry into the body, and your soul has to be free of fear. If you have fear in your heart for anything, or if you're afraid to do anything, then it's not going to be good for you. The outcome, just stay prayed up, stay positive, and it's going to happen for you.
Most definitely. Got anything else? What's up?
No, I'm in awe. I've enjoyed listening to you. I feel like you had a lot of good stuff to say. I
Right.
enjoyed the interview today.
Most definitely. Yeah, the whole basis of this podcast is definitely to essentially the same shit that you're doing, but more so, you know what I'm saying, just providing artists that chance to just come and talk their shit. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
You know, a lot of cats from the crib don't really do interviews like that, or don't even really get a chance to sit down to like explain the, you know what I'm saying, just the madness to their shit.
Yeah, it's
the
real
science
important to
it
me.
all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I have to make sure I play my part and putting the information out here. You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel about the radio culture?
On the radio coach is cool. It's not needed for every artist. I feel like reason being is because what artists have to understand about radio is when you're dealing with top 40, that in itself is a big competition. That's like saying, I play high school basketball, but I want to be looked at as an NBA artist. You know what I mean? You can't immediately. You have to understand. You have to get to that point. You know what I mean? So this is why I tell artists, don't always think radio. I got to go the radio route. There's other ways to break yourself as an artist. Starts with just awareness. You know what I mean? Just making sure you're a face and getting the face card out here, and then people identifying with the music and your grind. Your hustle speaks too. You still got to get out here, campaign.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kiss baby, shake hands and shit.
Sure,
You know what I'm saying? You got to do a lot of different things to put yourself in the atmosphere. You know what I mean? So I say, don't always focus on radio, because that might not work for you. You got the clubs where you can break your song. You got the internet. The internet's worked for certain artists. I had an artist by the name of Lil Mouse, if y'all remember Lil Mouse.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So with his situation, shout out Big Folks. It's my cousin. He basically he found the shorty. Took him from the hood. Gave him a situation. Unfortunately, it worked when it worked. Weezy called my phone. Actually, Mac Main called my phone and was like, Weezy want to get on the Get Smoke record. I'm like, wow. I'm saying? Actually, I hung up. Actually, it was some chick from Young Money first. And she was like, yeah, Mac Main wants to talk to you. I'm like, I hung up on her. And then Mac,
You thought it was bullshit?
yeah, that was some bullshit. Then Mac Main called back himself. I knew it was him. I knew his voice. Woody, he had that Woody.
Yeah.
He had that 504. I'm like, yeah, this that nigga. And so he like, man, Wayne want to fuck with Shorty. He was like, he want to get on that Get Smoke song. I'm like, really? He like, yeah, man, he fucking with him. I'm like, man, that's dope. He was like, yeah, man, Stunner want to talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying, as well. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I sent Wayne the session. I got with Chase Davis, sent Wayne the session that night. And the shit actually went on Dedication 3. I think it went on D3. And that was the hold up for D3. Or D6. I don't know which dedication. It went on one of those.
Many of them shits.
It went on Dedication 3, I think. But
Okay.
it held up the release because Wayne was recording the Get Smoke record. And he kept Mouse on the song. You know what I mean? And then put the song.
Okay, yeah.
And then he put the song on his shit. So that was like a good look for Mouse. I mean, this is Wheezy. This is Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes you get those shots and the shot might work. Sometimes the shot might not work. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, the career for him didn't catapult the way people thought it would. But I mean, at the end of the day, he still got an opportunity,
Right.
To do what he needed to do. And that was do a song with Wheezy. I mean, shit, he got shouted out by Drake too on 0 to 100.
I remember that.
Meek Mill took a line from him on his intro. You know what I mean? It's like little looks that you get from the industry when they see you. You
Yeah,
know what
they
I mean?
paying
So you gotta
attention,
kinda
for sure.
you gotta embrace that and be appreciative of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
That's ill, definitely, man. Well, we definitely appreciate you for stopping by, man. Definitely, you a legend out here for sure.
Respect.
We appreciate all your contributions to the culture, man.
Absolutely, man.
We definitely got to show more love and support to our own here in the city.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
That's what the Whatup Joe podcast is about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes.
So before we wrap up, most definitely, once again, shout out to the good people at Halstd. Shout out to Mile South Studios, where we at right now.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? And we'll catch y'all next week, man. We out.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right, peace.
My word is Joe.
How do you feel on being here? Oh, it's great. This is excellent. Chicago's a great town.
I'm lucky because I'm from Chicago, and Chicago, I